Good morning, everyone. I want to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Dr. Nagatu, can we go ahead with roll call?
Ms. Robrisha Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Aisha Burgess. Ms. Ashley Sias. Ms. Renee Carthen.
Present.
Ms. Leslie Chambers.
Present.
Ms. Shanna Derman. Ms. Penny Dossier. Dr. Dana Foster.
Here.
Kevin Griffin Clark.
Here.
Cornelia Hankton.
He's in school.
Dominique Jones Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Laborde. Miss Natalie, can you come off mute, please? Miss Ivy Mathis.
She's having some audio.
Hey, Natalie, sorry.
Gotcha. Miss Ivy Mathis.
I'm here.
Mr. Richard Pittman. Ms. Ken Robinson. Ms. Kim Robinson. And Secretary Summers. Ms. Dominique.
Can everyone go on mute?
Oh, I'm here. I don't know if my name was called.
It was Miss Kim.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Miss Kim, can you have your phone on mute?
Oh, I thought it was. I'm sorry.
Okay, if everyone got a copy of our last meeting minutes, would like to go ahead and approve those meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Ivy.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Dr. Nagata, looks like we can go ahead and approve those minutes. So for the first part of this meeting, everyone, I want to do a check-in. I know we just are trying to get settled in from Hurricane Ida. How is everyone doing? I know for my family and I, we had a lot of roof damage. We had a little bit of mold and had to get a part of our ceiling replaced, and I have to get the window in our bedroom replaced. But other than that, it was exhausting and expensive, but I'm happy to be home.
I think that's the theme of Ida, exhausting and expensive.
I agree, Cam. How are you and your family holding up?
We're good. We're good. My kids are back in school. Wife is back working, doing her makeup and stuff, and I'm yet still running for office. So we're rolling.
Well, I made it out okay. I just had a little fence damage. I was without power for a few days. Really nothing to complain about when people were in a worse position than me. So, this was my first hurricane being home, and I was alone. So, me and my bird. So I was scared, but I got through it. So I thank God that I'm able to move forward without, all the expenses that a lot of people are having to deal with.
That's right, Ivy. I didn't even think about that. This was your wow. Wow.
Ms. Dominique, before we move forward, just for housekeeping purposes, I wanted to make sure that the minutes reflect that we took a motion approve the minutes. I know that there were some folks who indicated by indicating aye that they approved the minutes of the last meeting, but I wanted to make sure that that we actually took the motion and to ensure that there was no opposition to approving to the approval of those
Sure,
minutes.
no problem, no problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go ahead and take a motion to approve the minutes, or if there are any oppositions?
And I moved that we approve the minutes of the meeting of October 7th, 2021. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Well, Dr. Chambers, how did you all make out?
Yep, and hearing no opposition, the minutes have been approved.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you and your family make out?
Thank you for asking. We did fine. We went to Shreveport for a few days, and my house, my husband and my children, our house was okay. My parents' house received some damage. My grandmother, she lives in St. Helena Parish, and she did not have power for several weeks. And she just had her house. She started the gutting process actually on Monday of this week because she had so much damage. But thankfully, she was protected, and she was safe with us in Shreveport. So
That's good. I'm happy your family is doing well.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
I would like to say I did okay with the storm. This Hurricane Ida was pretty new for me because I've always had a whole lot of people to take care of, and so it was a lot. It was different. We all went through storms, different boats. I stayed for the storm. I don't think I'll ever stay again. I mean, God willing, I don't know what the next storm may be, but I stayed. I witnessed it, and just waking up to the devastation. But one thing I did see for people that stayed in the neighborhood where I had stayed at by my family, the people got up and they were doing things for their neighborhood. It's something that the media didn't capture, although it was a storm. This particular neighborhood, the next morning, the people got up, they were caring for one another, they were grilling, even though it was hot. It was an uptown neighborhood on General Taylor. Everybody was, just helping one another in all that heat. Some people on the block had generators. I ended up leaving, so I kind of had like a little vacation, because again, like Ivy, I was by myself, so the storm was different for me this time, but I still had a plight. It's still a lot. You plan, but God is the best of planners. And I'm glad to see everyone on here. We're here. We're still standing and we still have work to do. So with that, I'll pass it on. And I want to thank all the organizations that reached out. I tell you, it's good to be connected to a group of people. DBI, Vote, Step Up. People really care. We really have a good connection, across Louisiana. So that's my plight. That's my story.
Okay, so if you all have had a chance to look at the questions or the survey that we created, it is now ready to go live. But I figured we work on a campaign to kind of roll it out. We do know that when you're discussing incarceration, it can be severely traumatizing and emotional. So I wanted to get you all's idea on what's the best way we can roll out a campaign that does, one, it tells people what it is we're doing and why and what we plan to use with the information that we gather. So how's the best way, what's the best way we can roll that out to reflect that we are trying to do this support or do this survey to support people that are impacted by incarceration? So I guess I was kind of thinking of, maybe rolling out some flyers or some short 1 minute social media videos that we can do talking about who we are, um, who we are a mix of, and why we're doing this work that we're doing. And what our purpose is. I feel like if we do some type of social media campaigns to roll it out, it will get people a little bit more excited about completing the survey and helping us fill it. One of the most important things that I want us to try to do is get people from different parts of Louisiana. Like we know we have a huge support system in New Orleans, but I want to get people all across the state to complete this survey. Yes, Ms. Kim, the Google
Great, yeah,
is-
great idea. And if you need information like a list or database, I can help with that. You know, with a,
So we're
a
all
list.
gonna have a link to it. We all have the survey link.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
everybody will be able to send the survey out to whomever they feel like would benefit from it. But I want the survey to be attached to a flyer or some type of video. And what I want us to do is try to come together to think of one, who could design a flyer for us or who could put together a short video, and which one of us would be willing to do a short video if we find someone to do it, describing what it is we're doing and why. Okay, that's a good idea. I think so too, Renee. The videos.
I could definitely put the flyer together.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
I'm sorry. I said I can definitely put the flyer together.
Okay. Renee, are you willing to be a part of the video? Thank you, Miss Kim.
I wouldn't mind being a part of the video. I think I have something to say. Throughout the years, I've watched children come in prison and having to leave their parents, and even teenagers coming in and going through problems like teenage pregnancy or what have you, and the parents not able to be there to help their children go through these problems that they're having. And I think I would love to be a part of the video.
That's Ivy. I don't know why it's not
Yeah.
showing it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think so too, Ivy.
I don't mind being a part of the videos either, because I think, especially having that personal testimony, always, when people feel emotionally invested in stuff, they're more inclined to tell their own stories in return. And so I think that'll help get those responses. But what I was really going to say is that I also know a really great videographer that specializes in like social media stuff that would probably be more than willing to help us out with this.
That would be so good. That would be so good. All right, so let's kind of link up with that person to see, what they need from us. And I think normally what I've realized in the past is the short videos, if you get everybody the same script and maybe do a short recording of everybody saying the same script, they can take bits and pieces of it and kind of combine it together. Okay, Renee. But what else? What's another way we can get the survey out to people across the state? I know Vote has a wide reach, so I'm definitely gonna reach out to Vote. I'm gonna reach out to Step Up. DBI will use its networks. I'm gonna reach out to Power Coalition. Who else should we reach out to?
Maybe Operation Restoration.
Yes. I definitely want to reach out to them. So we have Vote. We have
Flick.
We have Flick. Yeah, Step Up. Who else? Anybody else? What are some organizations in different cities that are doing this work that we don't know of?
Yeah, I would say you named all the New Orleans ones,
Right.
Rouge.
Power Coalition.
Yeah, definitely Power Coalition. Urban League.
Okay.
because of course, you know, because they're across the state now. So I think that's a larger reach on that end, and they can put us in touch with some of the local players around the state in parts of the states, like the Shreveports and the
Okay, like
Monroes
maybe.
and things like that, where they have offices and stuff like that. Also trying to see, I'll connect with a friend of mine. She is part of the Louisiana School Social Workers
Oh, that would be
Association.
good.
And so she's over the New Orleans branch, and they're connected, of course, to the state. And I'll get with her. She's at Sci High. Her name is Dominique also. I keep Dominique around.
Ah,
Yeah, so I'll connect with her because I know she'll be calling me in about an hour about something anyway. So
Dr. Chambers, is there anyone inside of your all's network that we could possibly wait, don't we have a committee member that works on the school board? Dr. Nagatu, what is her name?
Dr.
Dr.
Peterson?
Peterson,
Oh, she's
but
is
she's
she,
no longer with
she's
the
no longer with
school
them.
board anymore. No, yeah, she left.
I'm working to get another appointee. I've reached out.
And we definitely want to reach out to
OPSB.
yeah, well, Dr. Nagatu is looking for some, well, yeah, and then
I guess
Richard
yeah.
Pittman. Secretary Summers is here. Okay, so we definitely want to reach out to all of them. And I'll share it with the public defenders. Okay, and so far we have Ivy, Miss Kim, and Renee. Anyone else want to do the video, want to speak on the video that I may have missed?
I'm willing to speak.
I am to this breed. My internet went out. I sent you a message though and told you I won't be a part of the video. So
Okay. Okay, great. Miss Kim said PDM. And PDM is participatory defense, right?
Yeah, but for a Shreveport base, as far as the work that we do, you know, since
Okay.
you want to go statewide, because I know they know a lot of organizations in Shreveport, so I can reach out to them, you know,
Okay.
to give
that would
me
be good.
to give me some links on,
I got you.
organizations there. Okay.
Okay. And I'm definitely going to reach out to some of the girls in DBI to have them on the video as well. So maybe if we can come up with a script or something, and the script says who we are, what we're doing, and why, and what our purpose is. All right, Dominique Minor. I'm so happy y'all are participating. That's a good idea too, the NAACP, Cassandra. So I guess something like who we are, the council, what is it? We realize that children of incarcerated parents are forgotten. Help us count them. I don't know, something. What emotional message could we relay in the video that would get folks to help us?
I like how you started that off, Dominique. What can you repeat that? I'm just trying to write it down.
Okay, so the Louisiana Council for Children of Incarcerated Parents and Caregivers recognize that children of incarcerated parents are often forgotten. Help us count them by completing the survey. So we complete the survey. Why do we want you to complete the survey? To to address their needs mentally, physically, and academically. I don't know, y'all help me out. So we got who we are, we got our why, and maybe a call to action. Complete this survey to raise awareness on how children's voices are forgotten.
Do we want to set a deadline for when we want the message to be finalized? And I'm only asking because I think that you're giving some really good foundations to start with.
So,
And yeah. Mhm.
so our timeline is the digital campaign happens in November and the completion of the interviews. So we're at October 7th. So for our next meeting in November, we have to at least have started a rough draft. So I'm going to send an email to the committee chairs to select somebody to at least start drafting it. Because if our goal is by January, we have to at least put something together. I think we can maybe give or take to have it in February and just use, because we can be pushed back because of the hurricane. But I definitely want to try to at least have it finalized in January, and Dr. Nagatu is going to do the proofreading for errors and stuff like that. And so even if we release it in February, I'd be okay with that. But I definitely want us to try to start having the campaign roll out within the next, maybe by Wednesday of next week at the latest, and start getting these surveys completed.
I could be mistaken, but I think statutorily it's required by January, but I'm going to review the legislation just to
Okay.
make sure.
Okay, so now we're pushing y'all. So children of incarcerated parents have a higher chance of becoming incarcerated themselves when they help us to prevent this by having it. That is amazing, Consuelo.
Thank you, because I know it's something, that people tend to overlook, with having an incarcerated parent, their chances are higher of becoming incarcerated themselves one day. And, just with a little snippet reminding folks of that, it should hit home with people.
Yeah, and I mean, I really try to stay away from that narrative though, because what we've been focusing on is like breaking generational cycles and just creating a new definition for resiliency. The final report is due January 31st. Okay, and so created a new definition for resiliency. So I wonder if saying that would give us a narrative that everyone generally follows, even though it is true, but do we want that narrative created? So what is our narrative? Do we want the narrative to have that stigma that's always commonly heard? Children of incarcerated parents. Go ahead, Ms. Kim.
Our parents' choices shouldn't be ours. I don't know how to word it or articulate it, but something to that choice. I mean, something to that effect.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I understand what Consuela is saying, but I guess I'm trying to say for the kids, we shouldn't be stigmatized because of our parents' choices. I know I'm not wording that
Right. That's powerful too, Ms. Kim.
something to that, because again, I was one of those kids, but I didn't go to prison, so I broke the cycle.
Right. So that's what
I would say.
Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I would say circumstances versus choices, because some people in prison for something they didn't do. I do agree with choices too, but I would say circumstances. In my case, I can't agree to choices, or I can't relate to choices.
Right.
Okay, so do we want to focus on helping the children to break the cycle as opposed to the narrative of having a higher chance of becoming incarcerated?
I would say breaking the cycle.
Children shouldn't have to pay the price of the parents' consequences based on circumstance. That's good too, Dominique. Okay, so Dr. Chambers, we started off with the Council for Children of Incarcerated Parents and Caregivers. I forgot what else was said. Were you able to write it down?
I'm able to keep track of most of what we're discussing in the chat, so that's helpful.
All right, so we said
Recognize children of incarcerated parents are forgotten.
okay.
Help us count them by completing the survey to help us address their needs mentally, physically, and emotionally.
All right, so children of incarcerated parents are often forgotten. Help us, or something about breaking the cycle. Children shouldn't have to pay. Children shouldn't have to suffer.
Regardless of how we or what product we land on, I do like the initial sort of attention getter that you proposed initially, Dominique, that children of incarcerated parents have a higher chance of becoming incarcerated themselves one day. There may have been Consuela that
was Consuela.
And so to me, I think that's sort of an attention getter. And then we can suggest that we can help change the narrative and maybe incorporate some of the other thoughts that
okay, I like that. Oh, okay, I like that. So children of incarcerated parents have a higher chance of becoming incarcerated themselves. Help us address the needs of children of incarcerated parents. Help us break the cycle by completing a survey. Okay, so we state the label, we state the stigma and what we want to do. So the stigma is that children of incarcerated parents have a higher risk of being incarcerated. Help us break the cycle by completing this survey and addressing the needs of children of incarcerated parents. All right, so let me see. CIPs have a higher chance of becoming incarcerated. Help us address the needs of CIPs. That's got to be reworded too. Children of incarcerated parents and caregivers are often forgotten and becoming and have a higher chance of becoming incarcerated. Yes, Consuela. Yes. Yes, Consuela. Children of Louisiana are often left. Children of Louisiana are our future. Many of these families have been impacted by incarceration. As we attempt to strengthen the youth, our future. Oh, I like that too, Jawanda. I like that too, Jawanda. Many of these families have been impacted by incarceration. As we attempt to strengthen the youth, our future with them supports the services. All right, y'all. So it looks like we have two great statements. Dominique, which one do you love? They both are good, Bree. All right, y'all, we got to decide which one.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get back to my Zoom so I could unmute. I actually read Consuela's and I read Joanda's, and I was like slow with my typos or whatever. So I thought that you guys were putting like, I guess merging them or something. So I really like both of them.
Me too. All right, so I think we got to figure out a way how we can combine them both because I like them both. That's right, Ivy. We're trying to do the same thing. All right. All right. So
where our English professors at in here, they can combine those together.
Yeah, so we might need to take that as like homework and come back.
I know. Look, so we have Leslie Chambers. You're an attorney, right? So we you know, attorneys have a way with words.
Put me on the spot, Dominique.
So look,
I'm sitting here trying to make sure that I capture both statements in a Word document, maybe copy and paste in. And what I'd like the opportunity to do, let me see, did I lose y'all? Okay. What I'd like the opportunity to do is look at the elements in each statement and see where they overlap and see how we can merge the two and then propose something in an email sometime today, if that's okay with y'all. That way we don't get, too far behind on our efforts in trying to create this statement.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing, does anyone have any other comments or anything on that before we move on to the next part of the agenda? All right, so the timeline. So for the month of October, we are working on the campaign. Our goal is to hopefully, Leslie will give us a script by the end of today. Once we get the script, we can get anybody who wants to participate. You say the script, and Renee is gonna get an email from her videographer. And let's get those videos over to, or we send the videos in an email, and then we'll put it on a Google Drive so we can just share that with the videographer. I'm hoping the videographer can have it together for us by Wednesday so we can start to send the survey out Wednesday. And then we send it out as much as we can. Kevin is going to create a flyer and we can just get it together. I'm excited. And then for the month of November, it is writing. So every committee chair has to get together and find a person that's going to write. And you all do your research. Everyone knows the basic research. Identify your Consuela, we don't. Renee was going to reach out to someone. I know, right, Dr. Wilson? Renee was going to reach out to someone. I think if you have a connection, reach out to them as well. I like that too, Dr. Chambers. And so if we take November and we write for the month of November, Dr. Nagatu said this has to be done by January. So we have to finalize, we have to have a rough draft completed at least by the end of November, beginning of December. You're okay, Richard? We were just talking about you as well.
I hope nothing too bad.
Nope, nothing bad.
I apologize for the late notice that I wasn't going to be able to be here. I'm glad I'm able to come, even if it's late.
Yeah, we were just talking about rolling out a campaign. So if you look at the notes, Renee just kind of combined the amazing words of Jawanda Harris and Consuela Gaines, and this is what we got. Dr. Chambers is going to kind of put it together and send us a finalized script. And we're going to take this script, and anyone that wants to participate in the video campaign is going to just record themselves saying the script. Consuela and Renee both have videographers that they're going to connect with to see if they can do a short social media video for us to try to roll out no later than Wednesday with the survey attached to it. And so we were just talking about the timeline. Do you have any Quick question, Richard.
I do not.
Okay.
I would be happy to participate in the making of that video
Yay.
if that works out.
So what we're gonna do is everyone is gonna get a copy of the script. And we're gonna send an email to the to one another about with the script and the video. We're gonna upload the videos to a Google link, and whoever the videographer is, we'll get that person to do the video, and hopefully they can do it for us by Wednesday. Kevin is gonna do a flyer, and everyone is just gonna complete. I mean, everyone is just going to share it with folks in their networks via email and social media. And the goal is to try to get people all across the state. You know, we have New Orleans on lock, but I definitely want to see people respond from different parts of the state. Dr. Nagatu also shared with us that the report is due January 31st. And so we have our work cut out for us. By the end of November, beginning of December, we need to at least have a rough draft for Dr. Nagatu to review and do proofreading and stuff. And so let's quickly talk about the report chapters. If everyone looks at the agenda, chapter 1 talks about what's happening in Louisiana. Chapter 2 will highlight the survey responses, and if we have any phone interviews, we'll have those transcribed. Chapter 3 will highlight the caregivers' experiences, and chapter 4 will discuss solutions and recommendations. I definitely want to get a lot of recommendations from a lot of grassroots organizations, a lot of actual children and caregivers. And if we have, if Natalie, are we able to have anyone that's currently incarcerated complete the survey? Is there a way for us to do that? Is Natalie still with us, or did we lose her?
I'll send her a text.
Okay. But I definitely want to get insight from people that are formerly incarcerated and currently incarcerated if possible. Anyone else have any suggestions, or if we're forgetting anything?
Madam Chair, I would just add, and I know Leslie is, Attorney Chambers is texting Natalie. There's this whole group of folk that do reentry work that are partnered with DOC. So Attorney Chambers, maybe ask her that question as well, like getting the survey out to all those nonprofits to reach out to the people that they're working with.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do, Dr. Wilson, is reach out to as many organizations as possible. Like I said, I know the people who do the work in New Orleans, and I'll reach out to them and gladly ask them. And just to go back to what we said, Richard, we are going to reach out to DBI, Vote, Operation Restoration, Flick, Step Up New Orleans, Power Coalition, Urban League, 100 Black Men of Lafayette. We're going to do the Public Defenders, Participatory Defense Movement in Shreveport, the NAACP. That's great, Dominique. And we're going to reach out to a lot of people in our network, and IPNO, Bree. How can I forget IPNO? I forgot them, Bree.
Did you consider Louisiana Center for Children's Rights?
Yep. LCCR, yep. And but this is what we need, y'all. We need to, and even to, I would even send it to the different council members of different cities as well, to get them to send it out in their newsletters to schools, to reach out so we can find ways to support them and at least just get them counted. I definitely want to reach out to the different juvenile judges to see if they can get some people to complete the survey as well. Does anyone have any input on the chapters? Or any comments, I should say, on the chapters of the report? And so we definitely want to include pictures of the report. Like I'll definitely submit pictures of my family visiting my dad. I have this funny picture when I was pregnant. Bree, of course, a lot of you know Bree's dad and my dad were cellmates, but we went to visit my dad and it was her first time meeting him, and we ended up wearing the same thing. And so I have that picture, and I definitely want to include that picture in the report. But I was thinking kind of like the last few pages of the report is like a collage of different families that are directly impacted, formerly incarcerated. There was this beautiful picnic of formerly incarcerated men that recently happened. I'm going to reach out to that person who posted the pic to see if I can use, thank you, Kim, to see if I can use that picture in the report as well. Renee, you have some photos. That's what we want to do. So it looks like we're going to do, you took the picture, Bree. Okay.
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, Rob was the one that posted it. So I believe that's easy.
Right. So we're going to use that. We're going to do the Google Drive to upload the videos and the pictures that we want to use too. Yeah, that's what it is, Dr. Wilson. That's exactly what it is. Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joanna. So I think it's going to be good if we start thinking about the outline, the layout, I guess, of what the report will look like from the front cover to the back. Also, you guys think about how you want your name and your title displayed, and make sure when you're interviewing people for their testimonies that we have their spelling of their names correctly. I know a lot of people get confused with me and the other Dominique. I only have one eye. She has two eyes in her name. But let's just make sure that we are highlighting people in the proper way that they would love to be highlighted. And Dr. Chambers, if Natalie says that we can get the people that are currently incarcerated to complete the survey, how is the best possible way that we can highlight them too?
Is there a preference? I mean, I would assume that a good majority of those incarcerated have children, but is there a particular population that you want to target, or
No, I wouldn't say, because so in my head, even the men that are incarcerated that don't have any children, they were children at one point too, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
So I guess my question is, how do they want their name displayed? Like, everyone calls my dad Charlie. Does he want Charlie, or does he prefer Charles? I just want to make sure I am highlighting people in their perspective manner.
And is there a certain number of individuals that you?
No.
Okay.
Dr. Nagato and I were talking the other day, and I told her I would love it if we could get 1,000 people to complete the survey. And she was like, wow. So I don't know. That's true, Consuela, but I think I would just prefer to ask them instead of just assuming that they would love to use that nickname. I don't know, Kim. I don't know.
That's something that if they're able to get the surveys to those individuals, that they'd have to, work through getting that paperwork, because I presume that it'll have to be in the form of paper, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and incarcerated individuals have completed physical forms before. And so whatever DOC's process is in getting forms to those individuals, this would probably be that same process.
Okay. Yeah.
And in some of those DOC prisons, because I did a big mail out with votes for information. And I don't know, when they see a lot of mail coming from nonprofits, I know from a mail out we had a lot of it was returned. I don't know why, but that happened. you know, when it was, you know, a group of male, you know, come say if they have DBI stamped on it, a lot of it came back. I don't know if that's their policy or who you have to talk to, as opposed to me sending my loved one, you know, the survey, which I know that would take a lot of time.
Right.
As opposed to just sending out a mail out to incarcerated guys.
So when I was talking to my dad, he asked me if I could copy and paste it into the JPay email for him.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I could do my
respond
uncle
back.
that too.
So that's what I'm gonna do for my dad and a lot of the dads in our program. I'm gonna copy and paste the survey questions in a link to, in an email to them.
Oh yeah, and Vogue can do that. I can get with and Zeke and see if she could do that on the JPay side with Vogue, because they have a JPay system. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah. My dad is all about the email, y'all. I'm sorry to hear you, Miss Kim.
No, I was saying that's good that, you know, moving forward in the 21st century, I just think a lot of the incarcerated folks, they should be up to speed, you know, with the JPay, because that's the way it's gone. Like I said, the mail, they return the mail at the drop of a hat. You know, you can't even send a physical card anymore. So
yeah,
that's another conversation, but that's good that your dad is, you know, doing the email.
Richard, were you saying something?
No, I was not. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Consuela. Okay, Dr. Nagatu, if anyone else doesn't have any comments, we want to see if anyone in the public have public comments. And yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading something. Dr. Nagatu?
I don't see any public comments.
Jawanda, is that something that can be sent to incarcerated folks, Jawanda? Not inmates, incarcerated folks. I think it would be up to the people that communicate with them to send
right. Yeah, so the DOC will have to share the logistics with us on that. And I know a few people have asked questions about or recommended that the survey, the preference to provide the survey be via JPay or electronic means. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, because I know some people may not have JPay on the kiosk or don't have money to send it. So yeah, I think we will refer to Dr. Chambers and Natalie to give us an update on that. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? So I will create the Google Doc for the videos and the pictures for everyone to upload, and I will share it with you all. Dr. Chambers, you can also share the final version of the script there. And as soon as possible, Renee, if you hear back from your videographer, or Consuela, you hear back from your videographer, see if they can get it to something to us before Wednesday or by Wednesday. Kevin, just go with your best gut for the design of the flyer. And I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited.
If you guys email me whatever information needs to be on it, and give me some directions of kind of what photos we would like to share. It doesn't necessarily have to be photos from us, but what type of pictures I can possibly grab. And yeah, we can go from there.
So Dr. Wilson, can we use just the logo for the governor's office? Can we just use that logo, the title of the council? And maybe we come up with a slogan or something like that. Is that okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't fully hear the whole piece. I was focus on my typing piece. And so using the governor's logo, it's only for the governor's office use. And so we can figure out some language, right, in terms of the council itself, to let people understand that, you know, this is a council that is supported by the governor's office. But the logo itself won't be able to be used. That's something strictly
about
you
the
know, in the
states?
ownership of the governor. I'm sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
What about the state's logo? And then we can add that under.
Yeah, I'm going to defer to Attorney Chambers on the state logo. I'm speaking strictly for the governor's office. And so we can figure that out, but we can do that offline. We can do that offline in terms of how you want to make sure when people see this, they see this as very legitimate, a part of like a very institutional process. So they're more inclined to respond. I understand the intent and we can figure it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
And so my next question, Dr. Chambers, is it common for any councils to create social medias?
I have not seen a council create a social media account. And so I am interested in understanding what the social media platform is. I'm sorry?
Just to post stuff like this?
I don't know. I think that we've got to make sure that whoever is managing it is. Let's talk offline about that one, because that's a little bit more technical than what we can really answer in like a 2 or 3 minute response.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would just also add, like, my office manages thousands of councils, and none really have a social media account. So I'm with you know, Attorney Chambers. That just requires a deeper conversation. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments? Okay, I think we are moving for a motion to conclude today's meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great meeting.
This was a really good meeting. I think so too. All right, I move that this meeting be concluded. Everyone have a